everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to Sam.
Thank you.
Sam is a horticulturist trained at UC Davis, and you work at Van Winden's Garden Center in Napa.
Yep.
Right? Sam is one of the smartest plant people I know. You really are. So Sam did a video with us a couple weeks ago on organic pest control products, which was a fantastic video if you haven't watched that. And then we just filmed another video on houseplants, which will probably come out after this one, but it's really good. You should watch that one. So what are we talking about today?
All right, we're talking about poinsettias today.
Perfect, I love them. So holiday season, garden centers, you guys are getting your poinsettias in. I mean, look at this. It's like color. So you are going to give us all your knowledge on poinsettias. All right, let's go. So this room is full of color right now.
Yes.
When did you all get your shipment in?
So this shipment arrived on Monday.
Wow.
Very fresh. Unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing the numbers that we've seen in previous years come through.
Oh.
There's been, I think last year, a lot of the growers actually had crop losses. And so in order to mitigate that, they are not doing pre-orders as much as here's what crop we have to sell, and instead of trying to sell crop that isn't, you know, up to standard or whatever.
Okay.
So this year, if you find a poinsettia that you like, I would say get it before it's gone.
Really? So it's not just for Van Winden's, it's for
it's
for everyone.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's because they had crop loss last year?
That's my understanding of it. I'm sure it's more complex than that as well.
Right.
But I just know that we were not able to make pre-orders.
And that's how you all
And that's how we usually do it.
Okay.
So.
And so you just basically had to say, what do you have? Okay, I'll take it.
Yep.
Well, you got a good selection.
Yep.
I am drawn to the pink ones just because I like.
Fun.
They're fun. I mean, they have. You know, they're not Christmas colors, normal Christmas colors. I'm just drawn to them. They're
Every
beautiful.
child who wanted a Barbie dream house for Christmas should be able to get a pink poinsettia.
Or one of those Barbie cars.
Yes,
you know,
the Corvettes.
That was it. Give us the lowdown on poinsettias. First of all, how do you pronounce poinsettias? Is it poinsettia or poinsettia?
It's up to you, in my opinion.
Good to hear.
So the common name was named after Joel Roberts Poinsett, who was the first U.S. ambassador, essentially, to Mexico. Oh. And he's credited with the one introducing it to American horticulture. It was in the 1820s, so whether or not he deserves the credit is another question, but who knows? So anyways, so the poinsettia is named after Poinsett, so whether you pronounce that I in there or not.
Okay. So if I say poinsettia, I'm not saying it wrong. Okay. Really, nobody's saying it wrong.
No, really nobody's saying it wrong.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So poinsettias. Give us the lowdown. Like, step one, how would you pick the right one, other than me going for the pink ones? Yeah. How would you pick a good one?
So poinsettias are fun. They're a type of euphorbia, actually Euphorbia pulcherrima, which pulcherrima, and I looked this up, means most beautiful.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So,
so the most beautiful euphorbia.
Most beautiful euphorbia.
Oh, I love it.
And what we think of as the flowers, as probably many people know, are not flowers at all. These are modified leaves. They're called bracts.
Okay.
And they are not a petal at all. And in fact, they're not part of the proper flower. They're part of the inflorescence.
Okay.
This is the flower here.
That little thing.
So this is a female flower right here. This is a male flower right here.
Oh my.
And
look at that.
And so when you're looking at which plant is the freshest, you want to be looking at the flower buds.
These little tiny things.
The little tiny things. So the flower buds that are really open, so like this flower, this one over here, has several open flowers.
Right.
This one here really has one open flower.
Right.
It's on the same plant, so not going to be huge of difference, but this is a fresher inflorescence.
Got it. So fresher means it'll last longer.
Okay. So ideally you want to be looking for something where the flower buds are still pretty tight, haven't turned yellow much, because that yellow coloration is the mature floral parts.
Okay. And there's going to be different, because all these are on the same plant.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be a little different, but if they all look like this or even more open than this, you might want to choose the next plant.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
Say you choose a really good one and you take it home. Do we have to treat poinsettias the way that we treat regular houseplants, or?
Pretty much. So this time of year, any poinsettia that you're taking home has been in a greenhouse for its most recent experience. And if you just pop this outside on your porch because you want a splash of color on your porch, it's not gonna like it. It's gonna go, I just went from a really nice cozy greenhouse that was at minimum 60 degrees and now it's 40 degrees and I don't like it.
Yeah.
We don't recommend at least the freshly purchased ones going out on your porch.
Okay.
If you want to try to hold on to one and keep it going for the next year and get it to color up next year, that would be happy on your porch.
But that seems like a lot of work. People do it though.
It is. It's a little bit more work than going and buying one every year, definitely.
Right. So the people that buy these and then put them out on their front porch, they're kind of shortening the life of it.
Yeah, they're going to be more stressed. They might even present with cold damage just because it's so shocking from one environment to the other.
Okay. But coming inside, yes, it's probably drier, but it'll probably be happier.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how about watering?
So they want to stay moist. Right now, I can feel it, even though it's got some weight to it. It doesn't really, there's no moisture on my fingers, even though there's a little bit of soil that came off with me.
Okay.
So these are definitely going to get a good drink today.
Okay.
What I like to do with these guys is water them into a saucer.
Okay.
And then let it sit in the saucer for 5-10 minutes.
Oh.
And, you know, when I'm doing this in a large batch.
Right.
Because I'm rotating them out through the saucers.
Right.
And that way, any water that, you know, didn't get absorbed that first pass through can kind of get reabsorbed on the second.
Sucked it up from the bottom. Interesting.
And then go put it back where it wants to be in display.
Okay.
They don't want to dry out. If they dry out, they wilt down, they look sad, and it just, even though they'll perk back up if it hasn't been too long, it's not a robust of a plant anymore. It's weakened the plant.
Okay.
Another thing to be aware of with greenhouse poinsettias is that their stems are very brittle. And that's kind of true for a lot of euphorbia.
Yeah. Easy to just break off.
But easy to break off. But because they grow so quickly, they are they don't really develop like that firm woody tissue.
Okay.
So they don't support themselves as easily.
Okay.
So you'll also see like in some of the big pots. I don't know if there's any here, but you'll see support stands in them, in some of them.
And that's because?
And that's because they can get so top heavy, they can actually pull themselves over.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Now, would you recommend repotting once you take it home?
If you plan on keeping it beyond the holidays.
Okay.
If you only want it for the holidays and you just want something to look nice somewhere, don't bother.
Don't worry
Save
about
your
it.
labor. But
so I've repotted these and I've broken off the flower because they're so delicate.
They're so delicate and they're so brittle.
Yeah.
It's one of those plants where the less you handle it, the better.
Probably the better. Yeah. So you said that they stay green for most of the year, right?
Yes. So these colors really only show up in the winter.
Okay.
And these plants are photoperiod sensitive, which means that it is the length of day and length of night that the plant is responding to with its flowering.
Interesting.
So for poinsettias, to get them to color up, they need at least 14 hours of darkness every night for 6 to 8 weeks consecutively.
Okay.
And that tells them it's winter, and winter is when they want to bloom.
Interesting. So it's not really the temperature.
It's not so much the temperature, no.
Interesting.
Yeah. And these are native too, and especially if it's like, well, if it's wintertime when they bloom, but they don't want to be out on the porch, because they're native to Mexico and Central America.
True. That's a good point. Mexico's winter is going to be a little different than ours.
Exactly. So they are winter bloomers. They just need protection in our winter because we're too cold for them.
Got it. So say you did take the step of saving this, potting it up, saving it. It's going to be green for most of the year. Then what?
So if you want to try to get it to color up, probably start sometime September.
Okay.
We're in November.
Yeah.
and just caveat, I haven't done this, but this is the theory of it. You could honestly take it and you could put it in a closet for 14 hours every night.
I've heard that.
If that's what you want to do, if that's what makes sense to exclude light. Some people are like, no, wait, that's way too much work.
Wait, what?
The other option is if you have, like, in your yard or area, if you have a place where you don't have any outdoor lights flicking on at night.
Oh, okay.
You could do it there. But like, I wouldn't expect it to color up on your front porch if you have a porch light that's on most of the night, you know?
Yeah.
Because that interrupts it.
Right.
And the thing is they really need that 14 hours of darkness to not be interrupted. Because as soon as the way that the plant senses light and senses length of light or length of darkness, as soon as a flash of light interrupts that darkness, it resets the clock, basically.
No.
Yeah.
Just one, oh my goodness.
I have a great story from college. My greenhouse management professor, who's really involved in the floriculture industry, was talking about how there was this poinsettia nursery and they were having this problem with one of their houses. They would have this like corner that just wasn't coloring up.
Yeah.
And couldn't figure it out. Eventually they figured out that the night security guard would go and he'd open the door to check on things, and that amount of light exposure that came in through that open door was enough to stop the coloring.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
They're very sensitive to that. And similar concept basically to get Christmas cactus to rebloom too.
Oh, really?
They need that longer period of darkness.
That is crazy that even just opening the door
Yeah.
would do it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if somebody messed up and like flicked on the lights? You know what I mean? Wait a minute. Wow, that is really interesting, Sam.
Yeah.
So the poinsettia farms, they're in darkness, like starting in September.
So they'll usually do like blackout curtains with those.
Wow, interesting.
So you can really control, in a greenhouse environment, you can absolutely control exactly how much light is coming in there.
Right. And that's where these babies were grown.
Yeah, and it's quite an impressive industry because in like the last 6 weeks of the year, these numbers might be a little old, but roughly 70 million poinsettias are sold not in California, in the United States.
Yeah.
And I think like 70% of the market at least used to be based in California.
How do we have the room for that?
It's a lot of SoCal, glass houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
just that's so many plants.
So many plants.
And if you think about it, there's poinsettias everywhere, you know, like at the grocery store, at the gas station.
Exactly.
Like, it's just crazy, you know?
Yep.
Interesting. So Sam, I've already said my favorite is the pink one, even though I honestly don't buy them because it doesn't match with my Christmas decor, but I love them so much.
Yeah.
What's your favorite poinsettia?
I actually really like the dark red one. So there's one right behind you.
Yeah.
And it not only does it have like that really vibrant red bract, it also has some of those darker bracts.
Look at that.
And I just find that such a compelling color. It's really like my favorite shade of red.
Yeah, like a really dark, like blood red almost.
Sometimes we get one, and I don't think we have it this year, but sometimes we get one that's called like Mickey Mouse, and it's like a round, or mouse ears or something. It's kind of rounded. It's very cute.
Here, I see another one of your favorite ones. Oh, that's beautiful. So I have heard that these can sometimes be toxic to kids and pets.
There's always a lot of concern about access to these plants, especially if you have small children or animals. They are, I think eating them would be unpleasant because it probably tastes really bad. It's a euphorbia.
Yeah.
And that being said, there have not been any recorded fatalities in almost all circumstances of consumption.
And you said there was like 70 million poinsettias.
Sold a year.
Sold per year.
Yeah.
And there's been...
So I imagine if you ate an entire plant, your stomach would not... Thank you. But it won't kill you. It'll, in all likelihood, if you get a little bit ingested, it's not even going to make an effect on you.
Okay.
The sap is, it is like the latex euphorbia sap.
Yep.
So that can be a little irritating if you get it all over your skin and you don't wash it off.
Right.
Also, it can cause photosensitivity. So if you get it on your skin, you don't wash it off, and then you go out in sunlight, you might have a little bit more of a reaction there.
Oh, interesting.
At least with other euphorbia, that's a concern.
Okay.
So, you know, don't use a chainsaw to cut down euphorbia.
Okay.
You'll regret it.
Okay. Great advice, Sam.
There's really not too much to worry about. And the other thing with plants like these is they don't taste good.
Right.
You know, so if you have a nibbler, unlikely they'll continue nibbling.
Yeah. So if I have kids and I have pets at home, would you say it's okay for me to have these in my house?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The one thing is if you have especially like toddlers and they're grabbing ages, don't have it within grabbing reach because they'll just break it apart.
Yeah.
and then they'll get sap everywhere and it won't be very pleasant.
And they'll ruin your plant
but
too.
it won't be toxic. You know, it's not going to be a health concern. It's just a frustrating situation.
Well, let me ask you, do you think you all are going to sell out pretty quickly with these?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this video, I'm pretty sure it's going to go out the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So if you live in Van Winden's area, Napa area, get down here fast.
Yes. Yes.
Because they have beautiful selections. Let me show the selection over here.
And I can't say when we're going to be getting more either.
Oh, really? Because of this year?
Yeah. So
interesting.
It's really
It's
up in the air how many we can actually bring in.
It's a weird year.
It's a weird year.
Interesting. Okay. Well, Sam, thank you again so much. You are a wealth of knowledge. I appreciate you sharing it with us. And my goodness, these are pretty.
Yeah. It's always fun to talk about plants with plant people.
I agree. I always get so excited when I get to come here because we get to geek out and be plant nerds together.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.